Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start the video as I just got here. Bulldozer is over here covered up. The hood is off of it so that if anybody came to look at it, that way they could easily see underneath the hood. We got it covered up, so I'm going to go ahead and unhook everything. What I'll do is I'll get it uncovered and walk around it for a second. Then after that, I'll start it up and move it around a little bit. But I just wanted to see that I hadn't had it running or anything. It's been covered up for the last 2 or 3 days. I think that should be it. Might be one more strap. Yeah, one more strap. We moved it over here so it's easy to get to. So it was inside my brother's backyard. Now it's in his front yard. But he moved here back in February. We had to get this moved from his old house. So it was freezing cold. Hadn't moved it or driven it much. Like in a couple years, it basically just sat there. So, see, I'll move the hood out of the way. It just sat there. We started it up. We moved it here, and it's been sitting basically until about a week ago when I decided to sell it. It does come with these two things. Never used them, but from what I understand is they go underneath the blade. The way you can put the blade down, there's a little bit of a gap, like if you're doing your driveway and stuff. Take this can off. Put this stack on. Alright. So I'll walk around and talk about it for a minute, and then I'll get on it and start it. So pretty much we leave it with the negative off and the fuel off. We previous owner upgraded it to where it took a car battery. I don't like the way that the battery's sitting here. Where it used to be over there, now it's here, and I'm always afraid it's going to touch. So whoever gets it, if they're actually going to use it, you might want to get something, rubber or something, to keep it from touching the actual frame. Serial numbers. Looks like 448280. Not sure what all those numbers are there. 440 IC John Deere. It's a 1959. Is all the information I've gathered from it. Radiator is usually all the way at the top. Fluid. I don't know if you can. It's right there. Should have enough gas in it. I put about 2 or 3 gallons of gas in it last week or the week before. My brother did go around and grease up all the grease fittings he could find. So like this one. So that one looks like the hoses haven't seemed to leak or anything. It's probably been moved and used more in the last week. Just getting it out here, and a couple people have come to look at it and kind of moved it around here to see what all it would do. It's probably the most it's been used and started in the whole time I've had it, which is about 7 years. Alright, I don't know about the glare and how the sun is, and I don't know exactly what I'm looking at under here. I'll show you. That's what the track looks like, pretty much all the way around. It's the same. There is a nipple up here for a grease. Put grease on it, which does adjust the tracks. And I got grease all over my fingers. Alright, here's the winch on the back. I have not used that, but when I bought it, the guy did pull it out and wound it back up, so I don't know exactly how to get it to work. I know it has to do with that knob, the little knob there. I don't know if pulling this out, it freeze pulls out, or if it's got to do the knob up there and the knob that lets it out and lets it in. I haven't messed with it. But we'll continue looking around this way. My brother went through and basically covered all the wires with the black loom there so that wires wouldn't touch. And he redid some of the connections for the ignition switch because they didn't look too good. Here's all the hydraulics. Like I said, he put grease in all the grease fittings he could find, including that one. But all the hoses seem to be alright. No, other than a little dirty. Nothing seems to be soaked. Down here we got the oil. Full. All the fluids were basically topped off back in February when we were going to move it here from his house, his old house. The headlights are not hooked up. Same thing, little grease fitting there, it works. We didn't know about the grease fittings for this, exactly where they were. I think it was kind of covered in dirt, and the previous owner told me that that's what you needed to do to adjust the tracks and everything. Last time we adjusted the tracks before we moved it out here, we moved it around. He had done the grease for the tracks back before, or actually when we first moved it here, so back in February. So he parked it, moved around a little bit, moved it out here. Probably should do it again. Because I don't know if maybe there's air in the system or what. Alright, so I've walked around and shown everything I could pretty much think of. I'm going to go ahead and try to start it and show you what it does. So one thing is, these adapters for this battery are not very good, and the thing slips off now. I mean, we might be able to tighten it down. I don't even have a pair of pliers with me to try to make it tighter, but alright, gas is on. I'm trying to start it without, of course my hands are covered in grease now. I'm gonna try to start it without using choke. But when we first got it, the previous owner, there's a little hole right there in that boot. He said we had to put a spray of starter fluid in there each time to start it. Put the red straw there, give it a spray, and that would help it start. Well, we did that for a while, and here recently, pretty much no choke, the thing starts right up. Here's a choke. I'm going to leave it out. This key turns the power on. So choke, no choke, key. You could turn it over like that, but it doesn't do anything like you maybe would start a car, but it's got a click. So once it's to the right of that click, we got clutch, like in a car, in which sometimes you bump that cord and it pops off. Like I said, it might be able to be tightened down, I just haven't done it. Got your gear shifter, which is reverse, second is straight down, first, fifth, fourth, third. And then you got a brake over here. These are the two turning levers. Alright, so to start it, you're going to pull this out. It comes out a little bit without doing anything, but when I pull it back a little bit more, it's going to start to turn over the starter. Alright, so gonna start it up, or try. Hopefully it starts. Give it another break. It's getting close. Next time it should start. It's been sitting for about 4 or 5 days. Alright, so oil pressure, I guess about 40 or so. Temperature usually maybe gets up to about 180. Alright, this seems to be like an idle adjustment. It doesn't really move a whole lot, but pushing it over seems to rev it up. Alright, so we got this handle right here is going to lift the blade up. I'll take it all the way up. There we go. As far as it goes. And back down. And if you hold it forward, it's going to lift the front of the bulldozer off the ground. So now I'm up off the ground. And then lowers me back down. Alright, so I'm going to lift up the blades, it's out of the way. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in reverse and back it up. So it's in reverse. I'm just going to back up. I'll back up a little bit and then I'll come forward trying to turn it some so you can see. Alright. Put it in first gear. I'm going to go forward, pull on the left so you can see it turn. I'm pulling back. That one stops, that one's turning. Alright. I'm going straight again. Now I'm going to back up in reverse and pull the same left one to straighten me back out. Back to where I started when I went forward. And it's hard holding the phone and everything, but so I'm going back, pulling the lever, left one stops. And I can't do the idle up because there we go. Alright, so I'm back to straight. So yes, that one turning left and everything seems to do what it's supposed to do. So now I'm going to go forward and pull on the right clutch as I do it. So back in first gear. I'm going to go forward. Alright, I'm going to start pulling. Just bogs down. Let off of it. Stops bogging down. Alright, I'm going to go forward and start pulling. It just bogs it down. So I don't know if it's clutch plates or something with the brake. This thing worked when it came off the trailer when I first got it, sat for 6 months or so, and then it didn't work. After about the 6 months of sitting, moving it to the back of my brother's old house, where it ended up sitting for a long time, on the way moving it back, when you pull it, it would catch every now and then like it wanted to turn. So I'll back up and I'll go a little bit faster and pull it. So that was kind of slow speed. Alright, so I'm going to go forward. I'm going to let it get up a little bit fast. I'll put it in second. I'll go a little bit faster, then I'll pull it. So we're going. Just bogs down. Just bogs down. And I'll put it in reverse and pull it as well. So now we're in reverse. just bogs down. I'm jerking it, trying to pop it out. If I could use my other hand, I would try revving it up a little bit as I did it, but I can't since I'm holding the phone. So forward. Popping it, clutch, and anyway, that's what it does. It just pretty much bogs down. The other side, it stops and turns. So that's about back where I was. Pull forward just a little bit. Blade down. All right. All right, so that's pretty much it for this bulldozer. Like I said, the thing starts up. It took a little while, but that was no choke, and it's been sitting for a couple of days. If I was to go to start it now, the thing should start right back up. So I'll click it over. See, start right up. It occasionally gets a little bit of smoke off the top of the motor, especially when it's under stress. It probably needs a good washing. I've never washed it since I got it. But yeah, oil pressure, like I said, is still around up there, maybe 35, 40 or so. It's an old machine, 1959. I've had it for, I bought it in September, so this September will be 7 years. I went back and saw. So 7 years of September I've had it. I've maybe had it running a total of an hour, maybe 2 hours at the most, since the time I've had it. Maybe 2 hours. That'd be probably a good estimate. Just kind of doing what I just did, moving around some, loading it, unloading it to get it here to my brother's new house, and then moving around front. The thing runs better the more it runs. The question is, what exactly is wrong with the right handle? And even this one the left one seems to come back more. Right one kind of gets to about right here and stops. Under me, let's see, that little round plate comes off, and then those 4 bolts and that plate comes off, so you can get down there to the clutches. I know there is an adjustment. I've got the manual. The manual talks about an adjustment. I don't know if it needs an adjustment. I don't know if it needs new plates. I don't know if something else. I know my brother understands it more than I do, but I know there's a brake and there's clutch, and somehow they work with each other. So we don't know exactly which one it is. So it does run. Things work. I don't know exactly how worn out the, I guess, undercarriage is on it. That could be an issue. None of the hoses seem to leak in using it. Anyway, if you've got any more questions, let me know. This video is basically intended to show everything that I know about it, hoping that whoever's coming to look at it, whether they're near or far, they get a better idea before they travel to come check it out. All right, thanks for watching, and let me know if you have any more questions.